Wales has now started its first local lockdown in a place called, I may not pronounce this right, Caerphilly County, and the lockdown is now expected to go into October. So this is what the health minister has said. From 18 BST or 6 p.m. on Tuesday, no one will be able to leave Caerphilly County without good reason. Vogan Gething said new restrictions on the 181,000 people living in the county would last for weeks, with the first review in a fortnight. Friends and family living apart will no longer be able to meet indoors, stay overnight, or form extended households. It comes after a spike in cases, with 98 people testing positive in a week. The Welsh Government said with 55.4 coronavirus cases per 100,000 population, the county had the highest rate in Wales and one of the highest in the UK. What does the lockdown mean for Caerphilly? The Caerphilly lockdown. You cannot enter or leave Caerphilly County Borough. Everyone over the age of 11 must wear a face covering in shops. Friends and family are not allowed to meet indoors or stay overnight. Extended households cannot meet up. Mr. Gething said that he had been forced to act due to the increase in cases after social distancing had broken down in large parts. He told the Today programme that testing in Caerphilly found 4% of people were positive for coronavirus. It's quite a lot of people. If we had testing positivity rates of 4% across Wales, I think we would be in a national lockdown, he said. Analysis by the BBC suggests that Caerphilly has now moved into the top 10 of the hardest hit local areas in the UK over the past week. It is ranked above the same level as about the same level as Birmingham, Burnley, Rochdale and Salford at about 60 positive cases per 100,000 people in the past 7 days. Bolton is at the top with 122 cases per 100,000, followed by Bradford, Blackburn and Oldham. Caerphilly has seen one of the largest jumps in the case rate compared to the previous week. Speaking on the BBC Radio Wales, Mr. Gething added, "Even a week ago, we comfortably had the lowest rate of coronavirus of any of the UK nations. We're now in a position a week later where we've seen a significant spike in activity. If we don't address the issue in Caerphilly, we'll see a wider community transmission within the Caerphilly area, but will spread to other areas as well. We're in the position largely because social distancing has broken down, and in particular people are socialising in each other's households in large numbers. The reason for the local lockdown are a spike in transmission that, if unaddressed, will go out of control and we'll see more people get it. We'll see more people get into hospital, and we will see more people seriously unwell." Sorry about that small disruption, carrying with the video, and then it will have national consequences. He appealed for people to please follow the rules. He said it's for you, your family and the whole community. Anyone over the age of 11 will have to wear shots from Tuesday evening. Mr. Gething said significant transmission isn't taking place in pubs, but an element of it was people coming back from European travel along with socialising in homes. He said people were having house parties with 20 to 30 people were clearly not following the rules. People with reasonable causes could still leave the borough, he said. If you go to work, if you have caring responsibilities, or if you absolutely have to move house, then you should be covered from going to Caerphilly to Cardiff for a night out, or go to the gym isn't covered. If things deteriorate faster, we may have to take more measures. We're in it for a few weeks at least in Caerphilly. We expect the rate to rise in the next few days because community transmission has already taken place. I can't overstate the seriousness of the situation that we're in. The lockdown would be reviewed in 2 weeks, the Welsh Government said. What does the local lockdown mean? The local lockdown was announced on Monday, giving people less than 24 hours to prepare for the changes. Under the new restrictions, people cannot enter or leave Caerphilly County Borough, which includes Caerphilly Town, Uistmunk, Munach, sorry for pronouncing it wrong, Blackwood, Newbridge and Risca, without a reasonable excuse. Everyone over the age of 11 will have to wear a face covering in shops. Friends and family are not allowed to meet indoors or stay overnight. Extended households will not be able to meet up. A reasonable excuse for travel includes for work. If you are not able to work from home or for making a compassionate visit or to give care, but schools, pubs, bars and restaurants will remain open. More details are expected to be published by the Welsh Government on Tuesday, which said the rules would be kept under review and would be enforced by the council and police. Gwent Police Chief Constable Pam Kelly said officers would be out in the community, encouraging people to follow social distancing and the new regulations coming into force. Today we'll be working to understand the new guidance and regulations and what enforcement action we can take for a few who do not comply with the new restrictions, she added. While they may just be a few hours away from a return to local shoppers in Caerphilly, I have not hesitated to get up and stock up ahead of tonight's deadline. The high street is busy, shops are open, and town centre car parks are full as people continue to go about their business. There is a visible rise in the wearing of masks. Many shoppers are choosing to wear face coverings ahead of them being implemented in certain situations. The shift has been lost on local residents like Roger Williams, who himself has made a last-minute trip to the bank ahead of the changes. There's more people wearing masks here than there's been in a long, long time, he says. I can see a difference here, he said. For shopkeepers like Joe Thomas, the prospect of another downturn in business is a real threat to the town. I think the town will probably collapse unless the government give businesses more help again, she says. What do people in Caerphilly say? Sarah Bruton, the manager of Captive Spa, said the spike showed COVID was going to be part of our lives for a very long time. It's going to be really tough for a lot of people. We've started to make plans to see family, to book holidays, and in my case to rebuild our business, and that's going to be taken away again, she added. Miss Bruton said it was not her experience that people were failing to follow social distancing rules. We've noticed in the salon is the impact of lockdown has on those people. So there's nervousness and anxiety about being out. There's a lack of social interaction, perhaps from working at home, loneliness, right up to the serious impact on clinical and mental health. We've spent so much time, energy and money making our premises secure over the past 2 months, and I'm really trying to invest confidence in people. I really hope that it isn't undone by this. Michael Roberts, who runs Urban Barbecue in Caerphilly Town Centre, closed his restaurant for indoor service on Thursday and is offering takeaway. We saw it coming, which is why we made the decision, he said. We're feeling that hopefully this is a step which will take us in the right direction towards getting over it. There's a lot of people who are just currently rebuilding their businesses. It's not a step that anyone would like to take, but hopefully it will help reduce numbers fairly quickly. He thought it would be a good idea to close bars and pubs for the meantime. There's a lot of businesses that can't operate like ours as a takeaway, and I do think it would help reduce numbers quicker if businesses closed, but I can understand why people will continue to operate. Caerphilly MP Wayne David said things were getting worse and more people were suffering from symptoms. I hope very much that people will comply, absolutely, he said, but acknowledge things would be very, very difficult, at least for the next 2 weeks. Caerphilly member of Senedd, Henford David, said that more than 200 people messaged him on Monday, asking for clarity on what the lockdown meant for things like gyms, leisure centres and hairdressers, and moving to halls of residence. I'm just trying to answer as many people's questions as I can, he told BBC Wales, adding that students would be fine to go off to university, as it was classed as moving out of the borough. The biggest questions are about childcare, he added. Concerns were raised about the impact on shops in the area. Ben Francis, of the Federation of Small Businesses in Wales, said the Welsh Government and Caerphilly County Borough Council must be prepared to take all necessary steps to guide and support businesses through this latest period of disruption and uncertainty. Community testing started in the county borough at the weekend. A total of 450 people were tested and 19 were found positive. One class of 21 pupils at St Gwydd Ladies Primary School in Bargoed must stay at home after a member of staff tested positive for the virus, although the school remains open. Elsewhere, the Eden Centre said it was closing its soft play centres in Caerphilly and Blackwood due to the rise in cases. Meanwhile, the Eden Centre said it was closing its soft play centres. Meanwhile, Great Western Railway has confirmed a member of staff in South Wales has tested positive for COVID-19, but has not specified where. Close contacts of the person are self-isolating, the company said. No train services have been affected as a result of the diagnosis. Giri Shankar of Public Health Wales appealed to everyone in Caerphilly area to use a local testing unit as a town's leisure centre if they are experiencing even the mildest of symptoms or are feeling generally unwell with no explanation. Oh wow, so the coronavirus cases in New Philly, I'm just looking at a graph right now, has really gone up now. It's even higher than it was in April. How many cases has there been in Caerphilly? Caerphilly County has seen more new cases in the past week, 98, than anywhere else in Wales, and more than an area has seen since the end of April. The number of cases on Friday, 31, was the highest in the county for a single day since the pandemic began. The case rate for the past 7 days, 54.1 cases per 100,000 people, is among one of the biggest increases in the UK after Bolton and Rosendale in Lancashire and Hertfordshire in the South East England. Where there have been local interventions or lockdowns so far, mostly in North West England and the Midlands, the case rate has usually been between 70 and 90 cases per 100,000. Birmingham was put on a watch list when it reached 31 cases per 100,000, but the issues were in particular neighbourhoods. Are you prepared? So yeah, that's the video. I hope this was informative. It was quite long about Caerphilly. Hopefully it doesn't spread outside the county, but at this moment it just seems that they're more like delaying the virus than they are facing it. I think they're just trying to slow down the infection rates for people, but hopefully she'll get sorted soon. So I hope this was an informative video. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to hear more updates, and please stay safe and well.